Welcome to the Memberships Mastermind podcast, the podcast that helps you create a profitable membership that serves you and your family.
Hi, we're Paul and Melissa Pruitt, and we help online entrepreneurs build, launch, and grow their memberships.
Each month, we host 2 live Memberships Mastermind Zoom calls where we coach and collaborate with other membership site owners all over the world. On each podcast episode, we bring you one question that the mastermind worked through. You'll get ideas and strategies that you can start implementing right away.
So if you're ready to fill in the gaps in your business, decrease overwhelm, and finally get all the answers on your membership that you've been looking for, let's dive in.
Welcome to the Memberships Mastermind podcast. So, Laura, question. I have a Facebook group that a few people who engage, some are my wrong avatar. Should I close it down or keep the people who are active and nicely get rid of the other people? Nicely get rid of them. I like that. Okay, Laura.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is my challenge. Actually, it's kind of weird that I said challenge. I'm getting ready to do a challenge and I want to clean it up. So I just don't know what to do. Some people say close it. Some people say no. So I just want to find out what to do. You know, when I do my emails, I kind of put that link on there. And so people join. And I get some people that literally say, oh, I love it. I love your content or, you know, whatever I put in the Facebook group. But they're not responding. It's like pulling teeth. So that's where I'm at right now.
Before we begin, I'm just going to say this before I forget it. We've made more money in our lifetime off of people that have never commented, liked, or shared something that are just an invisible follower.
Yep.
Than we have off of the most vocal people that are always there inside of your free groups and offers. So I don't want you to discount the silent people. I know we all want engagement. But some of us that are even in this room, we buy things, but we're not the people that are commenting and posting all day long. We're a lurker. So just always be careful of that. We want the right people in our groups, but I just want you to don't assume just because that they're not commenting or sharing or engaging that they're not listening.
Yeah.
You know. But I want to open up to everybody. You got any way of like identifying people in your Facebook group?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I said that, now nobody wants to talk.
I'm Suzanne. One thing, Laura, that I found out about these are people that have already signed up for a beta membership. But what I found out in my private conversations with them is none of them want to be in Facebook. They all want to be in an email network where they can talk and they can talk amongst themselves and they can go one-on-one if they want and I can moderate it. And they trust me and they trust each other, but they don't want to be in that environment. So that was really a surprise to me. And some of them won't even participate in probably the email network. There'll probably be half of them that do and then half of them that lurk. And I love what you just said, Paul, that, you know, there's a lot of buyers and I'm a buyer all the times that I buy stuff and I never say a word, but I'll spend my money. And so anyway, I did. So I don't know about your group or what they're used to in terms of interaction. I don't even know what your field is, but that was a surprise to me, finding out how they wanted to be in relationship.
I have a question and I didn't understand. You said an email what, Suzanne?
An email network, like the old listserv that we used to have in the early 2000s where we were on, we didn't have Facebook groups. So we were in communication through email networks.
Okay.
That's in my market. That was what has happened. So, and there still are. So that's what they like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you were back in the day were in like different Yahoo groups where before Facebook and MySpace, what happened is you would sign up. Like I was on one that was called Free Cycle, and it was like instead of recycling things or you know just throwing things out, you would like you would post like, "Hey, I'm giving this. I'm going to put it up on the curb." And what it is you would subscribe to this email list in a way through Yahoo at the time, and you would either get email like as soon as somebody posted something, you would get an email immediately. Or you would say, nope, I just want it once a day, like a summary. But it was just a way of everybody used to communicate back and forth before social media came around to have like an engaged, threaded conversation back and forth. So for Suzanne, like her people love that, especially the field that she's in. They want to keep things a little bit more private, not into an open public space a lot of times. Does anybody else have any feedback as far as how to prune a Facebook group?
So I do. And Paul, I totally appreciate your perspective. There's also that school of thought out there about engagement and protecting the engagement in your group and cleaning it out. And so I've always struggled with knowing that what you say is true and that teaching. And I've kind of settled somewhere in the middle. If I have somebody who has come in and like in a year, they've never participated, never seen a post, or like if they don't have a profile, well, if they don't have a profile picture, they're not getting in the group. But if that profile picture were to disappear, or if any other red flag were to arise from the time they had joined, then I do go ahead and clean them out. But I also use, that's another strategy, the heartbeat check, where post something and say, hey, we know we have lurkers and that's fine, but we do have to clean out the group because of trying to keep our engagement up for the people who want to be here and want to see the post. So if you want to stay, just make one comment so that we know you want to stay. So I think that gives kind of a middle ground to keep your lurkers, that may buy, but still help foster the right engagement and making sure that you're visible in the feed.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I have one other question. It's kind of minute, but I just learned it today in another mastermind. And they had said that when you use Canva Post, you're not getting as much feedback than if you were to do, of course, your live and stuff. So is that true that I should stop using Canva Post?
Officially, there's no difference if you use a third-party scheduler in Facebook, but unofficially, like it's been tested over and over and over by tons of us. And if you use a third-party scheduler, you are not going to get reach in the algorithm. Yep. So you want to use the native Facebook scheduler. And I'm not speaking of any other platform, just Facebook. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to use the Facebook scheduler if you're going to schedule a post and not post from any other platform.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not talking about scheduling. I'm just talking about using Canva's post, like making a pretty post and putting a thing out. That's
like a meme or...
No, just like, the little sayings that I have, or even Melissa, when you have yours, you have your colors and you have that when I don't know if you get that, but let's say the background I got from Canva. And then every couple of days I change it to something different. So I'm using a Canva background or whatever. I heard that when you use Canva's, pictures or colors or backgrounds or whatever, that Facebook is doing something that you're not getting attraction.
Are you sure they're not talking about the new scheduling?
Nope, nothing to do with scheduling.
What I'm wondering is, again, Facebook, their AI behind the scenes is very, very smart. I'm wondering if they're trying to throttle things that are going viral or they're trying to control, and they're picking up on the pixel, like they're seeing similarities on the design, and maybe they think they're trying to purposely throttle. Is the only thing that I'm thinking, is that maybe they're trying to like, hey, this thing's being used too much. That, like if you just have certain words in the middle, but the rest of it, they might pick up. I'm not sure they pick up on that, but we haven't directly seen it. We've seen a habit for many, many years now that when you have more text on an image, Facebook wasn't necessarily excited about the whole meme movement, even though that it's gone. Like they wanted meaningful conversations, not memes. Like they really tried really hard not to become what MySpace was, and memes are very close to MySpace-ish, where, they normally don't favoritize them as much. But at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind is that if we always talk about me, I, people don't connect at all in life, online, no matter what, right? Yep. When you do talk and relate to the person that you're in front of, by asking them questions, engaging in conversation, getting to learn about them, having them talk their story, their truth, their thing, the more you engage them to say something, because you can get somebody to like something right out the gate, like, oh, I resonate with that message, right? But after they see it 30 different variations, it starts to become white noise. It's like seeing the same billboard on the side of the road. There's a certain point you don't see it anymore until it changes. So it's just something like you just don't notice it. So we had to be careful that we make it less about us and more about them. And that's said in many different ways in marketing, but it's just like what you have to do is keep them engaged in the conversation. So even if you are doing a meme or Canva thing, just be careful of like, it's not just another quote. It's not just another quote. Because at a certain point, they're just not going to like the quotes anymore. Like they love it. They like the idea. Okay. But then people want to be in conversations. So just make sure that you elicit a conversation so that they have a reason to react. They have a reason to respond. They have a reason to comment. They want to share that because they relate, But if it's just feel good all the time, there's a certain point where you just...
Which is one reason with the quotes I do, I try to write a little bit
kind of like my thoughts, feelings about it, and ask questions too. That'll help too with that engagement, to have that back and forth conversation. Because for a while there, it just was those quotes, but then I was like, it wasn't creating that two-way dialogue. So that helped a bit too.
That helps. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, then join us on our free live Zoom calls twice a month. You'll get to ask your membership questions and hang out with awesome membership owner peeps. Just sign up to be notified at membershipsmastermind.com.